Hello, everyone. It's your boy Nate Walka. Welcome to my channel. I'd like to thank you for being here. And of course, before I do anything else, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so you can, keep in touch with us every time I do one of these. It's like my first time doing this, but I plan on coming back more and more and more. But we're going to just take it one day at a time. We're going to see how this works out. I got my main man, 100 grand, Frankie Biggz online with me.
What up? What up?
Hey, he the one that taught me into, coming out and doing all this. So let's see, man. Let's see what it is, man. Let's see what it is.
Cool.
Today we're going to be reviewing the V album. So, I'm very excited about this. No spoilers. So this is going to be all fresh. And I've heard it's a visual album as well. So there's a visual component. So I'm looking forward to that very much. So I got my main girl over here, my little woofy girl. She had to be in my lap this morning. Ain't that right? She did not let me put it down.
What the name of that record is? What is it? Layover?
Layover.
Yeah. So we're gonna be reviewing V's album Layover. All right. So this is exciting times, guys.
And we got our producer Irene in the house.
Hey, what's up, Irene?
What's up, everybody? We're gonna be reviewing V's album Layover.
All right.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yep.
I can see. I concur.
All right, let it rip.
This is, why can't I see the name? I think,
Rainy Days.
Rainy Days. Okay,
right.
So this is Rainy Days. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Rainy days, I'm thinking about you. What to say, wish I knew how to find the way right back to you. On rainy days like rainy days, I'm thinking about you. What to say, wish I knew how to find the way right back to you. On rainy days like staring at my phone, I gauge, hoping for your call lately. I've been on my own, maybe 이젠 지난 일을 만나. Time with you was so amazing. Haven't changed, I'm still the same me. 늦었지만 우리 다시 Can we go back to the moment again? Yeah, rainy days, I'm thinking about you. What to say, wish I knew how to find the way right back to you. On rainy days like rainy days, I'm thinking about you. What to say, wish I knew how to find the way right back to you. On rainy days like Remember how I used to make you laugh the most. 내가 이런 말할 자격 없어도 Let me make up for all the time we lost. We can start again, open all the doors. Don't tell me it's over, we can start it over. 너는 나의 late clover. Yeah, I can feel your touch, I remember your kiss. 그 말은 아팠지 and I miss you. Rainy days, I'm thinking about you. What to say, wish I knew how to find the way right back to you. On rainy days like rainy days, I'm thinking about you. What to say, wish I knew how to find the way right back to you. On rainy days like
Wow,
Wow.
man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a solid banger right there. And you know what I noticed? So for one, it's a rainy day here, where I am as well today. But what I noticed is that V's English is getting really good.
He pulls it off, that's for
He's-
sure, man.
Yeah, man. He's pulling that thing off, man. Very dope. I love the video aspect because, you know, it's super introspective, you know, just kind of, to me, I feel like this is something that he probably wanted to do to kind of show a lot more sides of himself, like as a person, you know, because V is like, in my opinion, he's like super like a personality, you know what I'm saying? More than anything, like you know, the super stardom and all that stuff is just a result of, you know, just kind of who he is on a day to day, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like, as far as like the production, what I really dig about, I dig the use of white noise in this track, especially at the parts where it's with the piano. The deal is that the way that they're mixing that is they're doing like a filter bypass. You know what I mean? And whether it be low or high, what they're doing is emulating that warped record coming out of a very small speaker atmosphere, and then using white noise that's real subtle in the background to kind of create that space where, you know, whatever visual you're looking at, you almost expect it to be grainy, you almost expect it to be, you know, blown out, and giving you that almost as if you're looking through exposures of old film, you know. And so I really like the fact that he uses that, and it's done so brilliantly with his voice. That's what I really love about this dude is that, to me, and I've said it, and people are like, "Wow, man, that's a big thing to say." But listen, man, there's Luther Vandross, and I believe that, you know, you're not going to find a voice like that, like Luther.
Right.
At the same time, I just don't believe that today you're going to find a voice like V. V has that Luther thing to him. You know what I mean? Where no matter what track V gets on, it could be anything. It becomes V's track. It's no longer V doing hip hop or V doing R&B or anything like that. It's just V doing V. And he kind of has that.
Yeah, no, I agree completely, man. Yeah, V is one of a kind, you know. So like when you hear V, you know it's V. You know, you don't mistake it for sure. So that's
but like in real life,
dope.
is he that kind of a like that kind of a character that just kind of oozes emotion? You know what I mean? Like in his music?
So in real life, it's like he wears his heart on his sleeve, you know. So it's like you're gonna know exactly how V feels at the same time that V feels it, you know.
Right,
So it's kind of interesting to watch him perform and be able to like kind of shut that part down and just be, you know, focused on the show and the choreography. But you know, because as a person, he's so reactional to everything, and he's super inquisitive, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
you know, if he doesn't understand something, he's going to try to understand it, versus some people just like, they don't understand something, they just kind of blase put it off, and, you know, like, oh, maybe that doesn't matter. But no, he want to know. Who's that girl?
What do we got, Rini?
Got a fur baby.
This is Blue.
Blue? All right,
Yeah.
here we go. It's muted. There you go. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
What if I show you and make it on you? Green, yellow, red, blue, whatever seems good to you. 다르게 하루 빌려온 별들 날 보내 모두. But baby I still love you. 줘 전부 So swing my way baby Let me close you And feel the world
That's so.
Fly away Blue, 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 blue
Wow, man.
I like that he had his dog with him in both videos.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's super dope. So
Wow.
yeah, man, that was dope. I like all of it is dope, but I liked this one. It had that simply dope kind of feel, you know, not trying too hard, which is very much on brand for V. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this effortless, just, hey, I'm gonna be me and it's gonna be enough, you know what I'm saying? And that type of confidence in your artistry, that's, you know, that's how you know you're dealing with a superstar. But he's super humble too. So, you know, I think also the song choices and like the tone, the melancholy kind of feel of the tracks is, you know, that's him painting like that picture of like of V, you know, inward. Hey, mama.
Well, I really, what I dug first was the fact it was the feel of the track, because you know, straight 4/4, it's a bit slowed down, so it depends on how you want to count it, like in twos or in fours. But in 4/4 time, which is very, very straight. But then there's moments though where you're getting that, and then all of a sudden they add a swing note. So it was really cool how they programmed two different types of swings inside of the drum track, which really, really moved the bass quite a bit. And it had that whole Brazilian feel, like the whole pick feel, which I thought was really dope in the fact that it really worked with against the drums. You know what I mean? It kind of really laid back, where everybody was really, really laid back while the drums kind of kept pushing forward. And I think that dynamic like that is kind of what makes it swing. The other thing that I really like was that in the second verse, there's background vocals, and the setup would be like this. What I know that I heard was that he was doing like runs like, you know, just, doing that. But what they did was they had him like double and triple it, right? They kept one up the middle, and then they took the other doubles and they kind of they panned them that way. Then once they had it like that, they pretty much compounded those three vocal performances together as in one, and then they put a low pass filter, which makes it sound like it's kind of coming from behind you, like from a wall. You know what I mean? It kind of cuts out. And the cool thing about that is not only did they put it back here, but you can hear them panning that performance as coming, swinging this way and around. And I just think that kind of creativity, being able to do something like that against that kind of a track, just really gives it its own life. It's almost as if as he's singing, there's this other conversation happening. You know what I mean? It's like there's this conversation happening on the other side of the wall, and it just complements what he's saying here in your face. Lyric wise, I dig the fact that, I mean, he's using just a color just to describe the fact that he's down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the video too, the visuals are amazing. I don't know if you know this, Nate, but these videos that you're watching here were all shot in Spain. Isn't that right, Irene?
Oh, fire.
Yep.
Correct. If
Right.
I'm not mistaken, They were definitely in Mallorca, and I think somewhere else in Spain as well, but I can't pinpoint what part of Spain.
He
I know
likes
for sure Mallorca.
Yeah, he's done a couple things around this record that I've recently seen where he talked about the fact that they shot it in Spain, and he's got, it seems like he's got some kind of a special thing with that. So yeah, that's my take on the tune, man. I really, really think it's dope. I want to ask you another question. You said something at the front end about him being extremely humble, and I absolutely believe that about the guy. My question is, and this was a question that one of the armies had sent, was the way that the scene played out when you first met V was kind of like you guys met, and then kind of in the background, you kind of see your relationship forming. It had really nothing to do with what was being put on the screen. And then at one point they cut to you and him sitting on the couch, and you guys are just, it looked like you guys were just having a ball. So the question is like, how did that moment come about? Like, when was it that you knew that you and him were going to have this relationship outside of the group? And that two-week span that they were there, you guys were definitely set apart. Like, when did you know that? How did you know? Because there was also the deficit of language too. So how was it that you guys just naturally just were drawn to each other?
It's interesting. It was like, V's just one of those people that, like I said, he's super inquisitive. And so I think that, I don't know, for whatever reason, he just, was, intrigued with me and like curious enough to, and he was like, so it was just like, even though he didn't know things, he would kind of come to me first. Like, it's like he felt comfortable coming to me to ask questions, to, so it was like a safe space kind of from day one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if it was because of maybe how he saw how I was reacting to certain things, because I try and keep things very light, especially if we're working in a creative space. It's like, the worst thing is to make things too hard or too much like business. It's like, hey man, let's keep this energy up so that we can actually, do a good job on the screen or whatever our goal is. And so I think he just like kind of gravitated toward, that in the sense of, I guess I was being very approachable, you know what I'm saying? Because
Gotcha.
So just one of those things, he just like was hanging around and was like, would ask me like, oh, is this okay? Is this, like,
right. So he had more of a rapport with you at that moment personally, aside from everybody else, which is, you could tell that, you know what I mean? You could see that in the show. That was just really, really, really cool. That's dope. All right.
He's a special cat, man.
Yeah. Rini, what's the next one?
Okay, we're going
Love Me Again.
Love Me Again.
Man, okay. I hope you love this song as much as I do. Go ahead, play it.
Let's go.
추억도 의미 없이 내게는 사라지고 잊힘에도 I can't let you go, let you go. 그 말이 다인 거니 한마디만 남기고 후회하며 Let me know, let me know. 그래 나 솔직하게 다 말할래. 너는 매일 어떤 사람 어떤 곳에 몇 번씩이나 뭘 하는지 널 생각해. Lost without you, baby. I wish you would let me 지금까지만 그래 나 솔직하게 다 말할래 너는 매일 어떤 사람 어떤 곳에 몇 번씩이나 뭘 하는지 널 생각해 Lost without you baby
There goes those beats again, man. Different swings in one. Just genius.
Lost without you Lost without you I wish you would let me again No, I don't want nobody else I wish you could let me again I wish you would let me again No, I don't want nobody else I wish you could let me again I wish you would let me again No, I don't want nobody else I wish you could let me again
God,
Hey.
man. Jesus.
Bodied that, yo. He
Woo,
bodied that.
man.
That sound like a little lover's anthem right there.
Fuck,
Like,
man.
wow. Wow. I mean, the transitions were genius. And then the bass, that live bass, I really, you know, I'm a fiend for the live bass, man. Like I
Gotcha.
love live bass. So that was special to me. And then I also love how they incorporate a lot of trap elements as well, you know, which I think they did it tastefully, you know. That was dope.
Well,
It sounded great on that record as well.
yeah, it felt good.
Mhm.
It felt really, really, really good and fluid. I've always loved that track, and this is the first time I'm hearing this track. This, how can I say, paying attention to it through headphones and that version of it, because the versions that I've heard were the live versions. I Tiny Desk version, and then there's another version of this song you have to check out, man. It's by an artist named IU, and she has her own TV show, and she's like one of the biggest idols, pop idols in the world, female wise. And she's got her own show.
Dope.
The thing with this girl is that she's like super badass musician. Like, not only is she a great singer and songwriter, right, all that, but like her band, she knows how to pick like the right musicians. So she had V come on her show, and she does this thing that I think is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
What she does is she will perform the guest that she has on. She performs one of their songs in kind of this way of like, let me show you how you should have done it, or let me. And she completely kind of in a way remixes it in her own way. And she did a version of this song. Jeez, dude, and you talk about the bass. She's got a female bass player, and this girl looks like I think she even has the same outfit on as the girls in Kill Bill, the assassin girl that wears the Japanese school skirt outfit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about Lucy Liu or something?
Lucy Liu, but it's her little apprentice, her little bodyguard, the one with the black shirt. This girl looks just like that, but playing a bass. And that girl is amazing. So anyways, the point is she did the tune, and V had never heard it, and he actually is sitting there watching her do this. You got to see his reaction, man, because he's like,
I know, he's like, whoa.
He was, and he was so taken back because her band is so good that at one point, when they stopped playing, he says, "Man, your band is great." And she's like, "Well, thank you very much." And he's looking at him, and he's like, "Maybe we should do something together." And she's like, "Go get your own band, man." And she's like, "You ain't taking my band." Right. Anyways, dude, this song is a really, really good song. And I have another question. I'm always asking one more question before we jump into the next one. Did you notice in this guy that he had a soul like that? Like he had this, black soul, like this Motown thing in him? Was it evident then, or do you think he kind of grew into that?
Well, I think with V, one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is that he is the most vulnerable, right? Like he's like I said, he wears his heart on his sleeve, meaning like he's just like a really pure-hearted person, you know what I'm saying? So whenever you have a pure-hearted person, especially, you know, in the entertainment industry, you know, it's a bit tricky, right? Because that means that, you know, they have to travel a lot. They meet so many people. And he's the type of person, like, you know, every connection, he wants to be genuine, and he is, because he's genuine, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? So over time, I could definitely, like, I already picked up, like, man, this dude's going to be super deep and introspective because of all that, like, love and loss that occurs, you know, when you have a pure heart, you know what I'm saying? When you're really open and vulnerable, and you're always on the go, you're going to be making all these meaningful connections, you know, as you go, and, you know, you can't really take them all with you. And over time that, you know, it weighs on you. It's a weight to it, you know?
Yeah. He's the youngest one of the group.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he's not.
Is he?
Is he not? No.
Well, but
I'm always correcting Frankie.
I know, but they were, the only reason I say that, Irene, was because they were there when he graduated high school.
No, that was JK.
JK. So it wasn't V.
Jungkook is the youngest one.
Oh, okay.
Together with Jimin and V, but Jungkook is the youngest one.
All right, I know what my next question is, but we'll wait until after. What's next?
After slow dancing.
Oh, this one's a great one too, but I can say that this is a really good one.
Hang on, because I have it on mute.
I will have a lot to say about this track. This track is, go ahead, Reem.
Let's get into it.
It's about time we get it straight. Give me a minute if it ain't too late. The truth, moody on the property. I'm 깊은 한 진짜를 버티기가 이만큼 힘든데
Very cool.
Yeah, man. I love that video and I love the song, man. That might be my favorite so far. And man, like once again, I love seeing this dog in the video. And this right here, this video just reminded me of just how lovable V is. You know what I'm saying? He's like such a lovable character, like such a lovable person, such a lovable being that, you know, it's just, you know, it's hard not to, if you're around V long enough, it's hard not to love him. You know what I'm saying? He's just so innocent and good-hearted, you know, just pure-hearted. And then I also like the you know, it's so funny. So like, and this is, you know, I've never said this about him or to anyone, but I've always thought it like, I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like this, but when you see V like dance or like, you know what I'm saying, just kind of like freestyle or do his thing, I don't know. To me, it feels I always get reminded of like young Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like not super young, but like the teenager, you know, like when Mike was at his pinnacle type of, you know, that energy of you know, I get that energy from V, you know what I'm saying? Just that timeless, like, you know, he's just
young badass.
Yeah, basically. Like when he's like smiling and just having a good time, you know what I'm saying? It's like I have to probably pull up the videos and stuff that I'm thinking of, but like even that black or white video, you know what I'm saying? How Mike was, you know what I'm saying, moving in that video. And I don't know, it's just interesting. I feel like a lot of the, you know, I just can see it, you know what I'm saying, in him. Right. It's like the spirit thing.
I really, again, you know, the programming as far as the drums, it does the same. So far, I'm hearing that each tune kind of follows the same pattern where they're kind of mixing swings, you know, dead ahead, straight beats, and then they have these moments where the fills are in different swings. But another thing that I caught was like in the back when there's a breakdown, I heard this cowbell going tick 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 tick, and the significance of that kind of goes. It refers to him, number one, and the producers, because that was the "Can You Stand the Rain" by New Edition cowbell line. And I know that intimately because back, and that came out, I want to say about 88, 89. And there's two dead giveaways in this song about that. And why I know that they're referencing that song is one, the cowbell pattern, right? Mm-hmm. I know because when my brother got signed to Warner in 89, 90, that song was really, really famous at that point. And that cowbell pattern, dun, 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 that particular pattern that's in there was kind of a little louder and more predominant in the New Edition track. And we used it. I say the producers of my brother's record, it's actually Eric Morgeson, but he kind of copied that pattern. And a lot of people at that point were doing that. Everybody does it. They start to, something's really hot. And they use, especially back then, samples were a big deal. If somebody used a certain James Brown sample, they were going to use it. Point was that we used that. And when I just heard that, I was like, that is so cool. And the other thing is the snare. The snare itself is actually, it's an SB12 snare that came stock with that box. And they use that box. Johnny Gill used it. A New Edition used the shit out of this particular sounding snare. And I noticed that V's using it, but what they've done again is they've kind of cut the end off and they filter it so it's not so obvious that it is. And they also use like a side stick. And so I think that's really cool because to me as a programmer, producer, it's kind of a tip of the hat to New Edition. Can You Stand the Rain? It's a tip of the hat to that era. And I really, really dig that. And of course, then back to his voice. His voice is so wet. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so drippy. It's so wet. And he's got a lot of mid and low tones in his voice. And it just works. It works against those type of tracks that have that don't know if it's going to make sense, but it has that retro sound, but yet the nuance of today's sound. It's like the Gen Z version of yesteryears. You know what I'm saying? It's their version of what was done back then, and I dig it. I dig it. I think it sounds great.
Yeah, nah, real talk. And yeah, I feel like the feel of these songs are like, because I gave V the name or the title like International Playboy, right?
Right.
And I feel like it's all kind of still like fitting in that kind of nuanced box of sort, just because I called him that because I'm like, yo, you know, he's like, you know, to me, he's like I said, he's super lovable, you know what I'm saying? He's and he's always on the move, you know what I'm saying? So there's gonna always be everywhere he goes, there's gonna be people that fall in love with him, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of makes him an international playboy. But and I feel like the whole, you know, mood, all this is very like, it's very seductive, you know what I'm saying? It's very like sensual in a sense. And you know, just kind of, you know, to me that I'm feeling that full circle moment. Like, I'm like, okay, this is all.
I want to make a correction too. I'm sorry. The New Edition song I was referring to is called If It Isn't Love. If it isn't love, I
know that
that right. And there was one more thing I heard in the second verse of this song. They used it's rolling, and it's from the JD 50, I think it is, and it's called Neon Dreams. And what was really cool about that sound was that it has this, it's like an in between a road sound and a pad, like I want to say strings, and together again they filter it so it's kind of, it's set in the back, and they use that in this, and I thought that was really cool. Again, authenticating that sound, yet using this new era, you know, of things. So I really, really dig it. And the lyrics too, Nate, what did you think of the lyrics?
I thought the lyrics were definitely on point. Like this song, like it felt like, I don't know if he wrote it or not, but it definitely feels like whoever behind that pen, they know what they're doing on this one for sure.
I mean, yeah, because I like the fact that he's saying in reference, that we could be distant neighbors.
Exactly.
But we don't need to be, we could be slow dancing. You know what I mean? Exactly. And also the video, man, there's something in there that I learned is that they all have a collective wish, and pretty much brought on more by Sugar, right? But they want to be able together to see Northern Lights. And in this video, at the end, he's on a ship out in the ocean, and his friends and him are all, you know, watching the Northern Lights. And it's kind of like at one point, he kind of looks and realizes, I think, to me, I interpret it as it's not them, it's his friends, but not them. And then he kind of looks like he's sad. He like puts his head down. But I thought that was cool. It's a really cool reference, because that is something that collectively as a group, something that they've been wanting to do.
Well, I felt like it was more like he was like, you know, of course, like the friends are a metaphor for his friends, right? Or the group. And I feel like when he was like it looked like he was falling asleep, right? And it was, to me, that was like emphasis on the fact that it wasn't about seeing the Northern Lights. It was just about, you know, all the things that they did that day, spending all that time with his friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what he wanted. Yeah. It's like, if we need Northern Lights as an excuse to spend the day together and do all this amazing stuff, then so be it, you know? So he was content, you know what I'm saying? At the end, he's like, I don't even need to see the Northern Lights, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, he's just, that song was really good. The video was shot really nice. I love the fact that it gives that almost phone-esque kind of thing. Like it's like IRL kind of streaming thing, but a more pro version of it. And then all of a sudden they go into really cool, concise, blocked out scenes and shots. So I do love the contrast between the two. It really works. And it also works with the production of the song. Yeah. Very, very impressive. Very cool. All right, Rainey, what's next?
I wanted to tell a story about this because unless you use Nate's app, Singwist, there you go. It's this guy that was employed by V's Cam to be on the video, and they, if you see it in the beginning, they are all underwater.
Yeah.
And they're moving and basically just dancing underwater. And he said that there was a lot of people underwater and he didn't realize, and he hit V. He's like, there were like 10 people underwater, and then I go and hit the artist.
Of all the people, he knocks him out.
Right.
So he was explaining that on a TikTok, and I thought it was funny. And I wanted to tell Army that because I'm sure there's that they don't really know about it because it was this Spaniard speaking about it. So
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
So he almost got well, he did get clobbered in
underwater.
Like,
there was like 10 people underwater, and then I go and hit the artist. Anyways, this is for us.
For us.
For us.
All right, let's go.
Glad V's okay.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Being clobbered under the water is scary.
You went from my home to, it was nice to know you, and it breaks my heart that we gave it our best shot. Now I'm in California, I'm still waiting for you. Will you change your mind? I will give it all night for us. Ooh, I wish I could stay with you. It's too late. I got things to say before I go. There's no time to wait. We cannot wait. Need to let you know that. Ooh, I wish I could stay with you. I wish I could stay with you.
Sounds like you, Irene. Exactly. That's definitely Spain. Very gorgeous, man.
Wow.
I mean that.
Yeah, man.
That looked like our neighborhood, Irene.
Kind of did. I wish I was doing backgrounds for him.
Oh man, there for a second there, it sounded like that. That song is just haunting, man. Like,
yeah, I had to like I had to pinch myself a little not to get too emotional, man. But that song is like definitely from his heart. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what I was saying at the beginning. Is like you know, that's how I feel V truly feels. You know what I'm saying? Like he wishes that he could stay with everyone that he connects with, you know what I'm saying, on these deeper levels. But, you know, it's just fate, you know what I'm saying? He's on a different trajectory. And so I feel like in this song, you know, it really like
Touched you.
yeah, it touched me. And the way he connected with the song was deep. You know what I'm saying? It's like he sounded really good on the record, you know what I'm saying? Like really like perfectly how he's supposed to sound. You know, I'm a big pocket guy. And I feel like the pocket was impeccable on that record. So you know, like there was a lot of attention, you know, to get like perfect pocket, you got to have like a lot of attention to detail on a record. And yeah, man, I just feel like this record was you know, and then it makes sense. Like it's kind of like he told the story about why he has his dog, you know what I'm saying? Because at least he can keep the dog with him as he goes places, you know. But yeah, man, like I felt like this one was, you know, this one definitely touched me. And yeah, like
Speaking of that dog, actually, when he put this record out, I believe that that dog passed away right about that point.
are you serious?
Putting it out, yeah. And the dog is the album's cover, actually.
Oh man, bro.
Yeah, but he was really, really close to that dog. But I mean, in this song, he's really missing somebody in California. You know what I mean? And I really, really dig that reference, man. And I like how it's a sample of a female. Obviously, it's another song. That right there, Nate, on the screen is his dog.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah, I saw the dog. I saw that picture in the video with V on it and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. That sucks losing a pet, man.
Yeah.
Losing anything sucks, but when that little guy died, he really took it hard because it was right around the time, wasn't it, that they released this?
No, well, actually, well, we don't really know when he passed. He announced it last year, at the end of last year, remember? And he put out a Christmas record.
Right, it was somewhere close to it.
The dog, like it was a cartoon Christmas
that's
record.
right, of the dog.
And at the end the dog appears in heaven. So that's when he announced it, but we don't know when he passed, actually.
Understood. Understood. Well, what I like about the California references, it kind of in a way reminds me of like the 70s. Like there was I want to believe that sample of in the very beginning of that female is something I'd heard before. And it just brings me back to like, I mean, she makes the reference of missing you in California or whatever, but it does remind me of something that I've heard before. And it really has that California thing to it, like the melody. But then, man, he goes into that track. It's just haunting, man. I mean, you really, really, you're hearing it, but I think you experience it. You know what I mean? As you're sitting there listening to it, you really get sucked into it because
it's a deep record. Like it's a deep record because, you know, also with, you know, when you make a reference like California, it's normally not about like you said, he's missing somebody in California, but
California.
It could be the thing about California is you make a lot of memories in California, you know what I'm saying? With people and all that stuff. So it's more like you're missing like those memories, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like those times, because in the video you see him like flashing back to these moments. And then also it hit me with this video when I saw them on the ship. It's like that whole Peter Pan symbolism, you know, because I definitely could see that for V. Like, you know, it's like I can't imagine him as a real adult, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got to be young V, you know, international playboy forever, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying?
He's gone to the next level though, I'm going to tell you that. Because he is all muscles now. Like you wouldn't recognize this dude. Like he's got huge muscles. Like he's got a shaved head. Like he looks like a super badass, big time. So
Wow.
that V
So
that
he
you see,
said,
yeah, it's not there anymore. But that's because he's been in the military. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But he really I read somewhere that he had taken uh that it kind of bothered him that people would refer to him as being small or whatever.
Mm,
You know what I mean? They had
yeah.
their words. I won't even mention them, but that, and so I don't know if that's what prompted him to beef up so much, but he definitely looks a lot different. And it's going to be interesting to see a whole new look. I mean, basically, Suga had made a statement in one of his shows that it was a while back, but it was in his Suicha show where he says that because they've all grown and they all have their own color, and that when they finally come back together again, it's going to be interesting to see how diverse, because everybody has done so many different genres of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that they've all been able to explore that part of them. And so it's going to be interesting to see those colors coming through when they come together. And I'm definitely interested to see how that happens with V. And this time and he actually said too, it is cool to have everything choreographed. I'm paraphrasing, but he was saying every show is so meticulously done and produced that it's good when they don't have to do so much of that and they can go on stage and be themselves. And he referenced the concert that they all had, I guess, where they had like more freedom. And
Right.
he's saying that he thinks that the next time that they all come together, that's kind of how he would like it, a little more structured, where they're,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They'll do their choreography and everything, but not so much. Like this time they really want to enjoy going on stage, not having to think so much about those type of things.
Yeah.
So,
Connect with the audience more, just be in the moment, be
right.
free, make those moments, man. That's what it's about, that freedom. And they deserve it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They've given us so much on the stage. I'm like, even Beyonce with her show, I've noticed she's not dancing as much, as
Right.
previous productions. And I think, it's fine. It's like, yo, she's given us so much of that it's like we shouldn't be like every time we see you, Beyonce, we need you to be, dancing for 2 hours straight. It's like it's not
Well,
necessary.
Irene and I actually had that conversation about Mariah Carey this morning.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was
Mariah was never a choreographed dancer.
no,
Exactly.
but we're talking about
And now
yeah,
it's less
she's
and less.
hardly a dancer. I know that.
Right. I'm like,
She looks so awkward when she tries to do shit. Just be beautiful and just stand there, open your
yeah.
mouth and sing. But she is, as a producer, I mean, hands down to me, Mariah, when it comes to those vocal stacks of production, even mixing and mastering, that woman is amazing. But the discussion that we had, all that aside, because we know she's super badass, was that had something to do with just playback and the amount of playback people were talking about with Mariah, and now accusing her that most of her show now is playback and everything. And I said, it doesn't matter. She earned it.
Doesn't matter.
She earned that shit. So if she's doing playback, I don't give a shit. I'll still go see her. I'm still going to support her because, like you said, she's given us years and years of perfection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's good to see every once in a while those idols being human, just as human as anybody else, making mistakes or whatever. And I just thought that them to be so hard, her lambs to be hard on her, saying stuff like that. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Who cares?
Exactly.
Mariah freaking cares.
Exactly, yo.
You know what I mean?
Even if she can't hit the note today, she hit it, in the past. You know what I'm saying?
She's got receipts.
Yeah.
Like
it's
hits.
like, why? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that to me also makes the music that she has released previously that much more special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, when an artist can no longer perform, it's like it's to me the art becomes even more valuable, you know what I'm saying, because they can't even do this anymore, you know what I'm saying. It's like, so they gave you what they could give you in the past, and hey, it has a limit.
I mean, let them live, man. Can they live? And so in any event, all right, Irene, what is the next
So
one?
this is the slow dancing piano version. This is the last song. It's like a bonus, I guess.
Okay. So same tune, but a piano version of it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Fine.
There's about time we get it straight. Give me a minute if it ain't too late. 대충 물이 없나 봐, babe. 애만 깊으면 해친채 버티기가 이만큼 힘든데. Stay with me till the end of the day. Maybe we could be slow dancing until the morning. We could be romancing the night away. Yeah, turning me up and back up like this. What do you want? Do you not like it? Stop teasing me, girl. Now you made me lay my heart out here. 날 딛고 올라가. 다시 또 누군가 그리운 듯이 닮았던 우리가 먼 이유 같은 날. Maybe we could be slow dancing until the morning. We could be romancing the night away.
Yeah.
Hey,
Very cool.
very cool.
Very, very, very good.
Very dope. Was that the last one from the project?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
that
Very
is the
cool.
last one. All right. Next question. Next question. Here we go. Here's a good one. What makes V in your friendship with him back then and even now and anything else? What was it that makes him stand apart from the rest of the group that you see?
I think his willingness to make mistakes, like, he's willing to try and give his all, like the first shot, whether he makes it happen or not, without like a second thought, from my experience. So it's like, it's like you tell him to do something, he's gonna do what he thinks you understand, he understands you to do. He's not really gonna ask any questions, you know what I'm saying? He's just gonna try and make it happen. And I think that openness and that willingness, you know what I'm saying, is also the reason why, people like him, you gotta be protected, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
tough, because
Vulnerability.
yeah, so yeah, even even with him going into the army, I know that they're getting like a really great soldier, probably beyond what they thought, you know what I'm saying? Just because, you tell him to do this 100 times, you tell him to do that 50 times, he's just gonna do it. He's gonna say, okay. And if his arms give out, his arms give out, you know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
you got to deal with that. He'll let you know, like, hey, I tried. I got the 30, but I couldn't do 50, but I did the 30, and I'll be back tomorrow to try for 50 again. So I just think, that to me is like part of what makes him really special, just that openness, that willingness to, that vulnerability, that, what I'm saying, to kind of put it all out there at the drop of a dime.
I mean, he to me, because I never met the dude, but I think what sets him apart for me is the fact that it is that vulnerability. It's that innocence, right? Like
Yeah.
you said, that type of innocence is something that you want to protect.
Yeah.
Is he a fun dude? Like, I mean, is he, or does he kind of
Absolutely.
wait for, or does he initiate hilarity or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he's naturally funny. So it's not like he has to super try to be funny.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he's willing to do some funny stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, like if you are having a bad day or something like that, he might like fix his hair weird, you know what I'm saying? Tuck his shirt, make himself look funny just to like get a rise out of you. And V is more like nonchalant, you know what I'm saying, which can get under people's skin, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's like the most willing in my opinion, but doesn't mean like he's not, like he might give up first also, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he might try and do those 50 push-ups and stop at 15 versus, the person to the left is going to 45 or doing all 50. And but he gave it his all, and he's just in touch. He's like, hey man, look, I did the best I could. It's great that you did 50, but some people can be upset, like, yo, you're not taking this serious. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Like snap out of it. And it's like, it's just, to me, I think that's the part that, like, when people are trying to like get him out of his vibe, that's probably what annoys V, if anything does annoy V, is like, oh, okay, they're trying to shake me and rattle me too much, and it's just like, let me be, you know what I'm saying?
I have an industry question for you,
Mhm.
and I think you'll appreciate it. With all the years that you've been around artists, and you've been a part of the development program, you know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
sure you've had a hand in development in, bigger artists and whatnot.
Yeah.
We don't have to go into any names. I mean, the receipts are there. But
Yeah.
the question is, what did you see different between the American developing system, right? And the people who are there to help coach the artists as they're going through these things. What was the difference that you saw between the American way to do it and the South Korean way of doing it with them?
So there's some huge differences.
Break them down for us, baby. That's what we need to hear. What is the difference? Because I know that there is, but you've had a little more hand in it than me. So please.
Right. So, all right. So this is interesting, right? I've never been on camera talking about this, but I have discussed it with some close colleagues.
Okay.
But pretty much, they refer to, like how in America we refer to the entity that owns the artist's contracts as a label, right?
Right.
And they refer to that entity as a company. The reason is because the company doesn't just own the label, it also normally is owner of the school system, the incubators, as you will, because the factory, so to speak. Because see, what I like about the South Korean approach is that they're actually, it's more of a holistic approach. It's actually like so imagine so this is, all right, so I'm going to give you this imagination for if we had this in the States, right? Like, so imagine they had a school in America, right? And at this school, you weren't forced to, to run or jump or dance or do anything. Instead, the school the responsibility was on them to notice your abilities. What are your abilities? What do you like doing more? And what are you better than other people at doing? And what can you do with ease? What can I ask you to do? And it's not like pulling teeth for you to do it. Right. Because what South Koreans understand is that you have to create like a solar system of sort, right? So imagine the star is the sun, right? The sun is a star. And then we have all these planets that are revolving around the sun, right? And all these planets in our solar system are pivotal, and they're critical for Earth to have the Earth that we have today. You know what I'm saying? Because everything has a push and a pull going on. Mm-hmm. So, but we don't need, you know what I'm saying? We don't need more than one Earth, but you know, of course, for our solar system, you know? So it's a similar concept to how, you know, the South Korean method is, where they are, you know, they might notice, okay, this person is really good with graphic design. This person is really good with styling. And this person is really good with like hair and makeup. This person is really good at social media. This person is, because they know this star is going to need all of these components around it. You know what I'm saying? So instead of it, and they grow these, you know, saying, so these are, you know, these people are being nurtured, right? From a very young age, instead of like in America, is like, hey, look, we're going to teach all of you guys the same exact thing. And then when you turn 18, we kick you out the door. Unless you know, started a TikTok or something on your own, and with your mom, you got a momager, and you're going to just figure it out. Right. And if you get enough traction, then here, we'll do a contract with you. In that regard, it's, you know, vastly different approach. You know what I'm saying? This is like, because even like in that scenario with America, where it's like, hey, you know, we kick you out the door and tell you to go make it, you still, now this artist has to find all these components if they're going to do it independently, which most, you know, end up not being able to. So they will, that's the reason, that's the allure of the major label, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to get with this major label, and they're going to have the network to give me the planets that revolve around the sun. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have the videographers. They're going to have the, you know, all those pieces that are necessary to create the whole for, and that's how we get the best product for or the best experience for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Because every artist has a fan base. It's just a matter of, is your dormant audience aware of you? You know what I'm saying? Like, if 1 billion people could hear, you know, Frankie Biggz, you know, next single, then it's not difficult to get 1 million or so to like it, really like it, and, you know, 100,000 of them to be super fans. You know what I'm saying? Right. But to get to 1 billion impressions, that's the hard work, you know. And to get there, there's gates you got to go through. So that's why, you know, things do have to be shaped accordingly. And another thing that's different that I would say America is catching up with is the understanding of creating content. Like, so what they were doing was really like a content machine, like a content generating machine, where, okay, we're not ever, because one thing I noticed, they never want to be short on content, right? They don't want to have like too little content, because content is how you have leverage with different publications and platforms and stuff like that. Everyone wants an exclusive, you know? Too. Yeah, exactly. And everybody wants that new material. And so what I thought they did really well is that they wrapped the artists around a content creating machine, where every day new content is being curated. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, first check, you know, after showers, he, you know what I'm saying, he went to the stylist and got dressed. Then he went to hair and makeup. And now, you know what I'm saying, he's ready. Now we can film him throughout the day, different things, even though he has dance practice, he's going to go eat. He's going to do all these things. And now that all these things that he would do normally, that most artists do all the time, these are events that can capture content, right? And so if you're capturing enough content, the more content you capture, which they understand, the more discriminate you can be on what you share. You know what I'm saying? If you only capture 10 photos, then you don't have a lot of options to choose from. But if you capture 1,000 photos or 100 photos in a day, now it's like, okay, to pick the gems, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get 5 to 10 really amazing pictures out of that say, you know, that speak 1,000 words. And now you can leverage that content with different platforms to gain access and exposure to other markets. So I have like a music marketing company as well. That's why I know so much about these type of things, you know, but I don't use my marketing company or my abilities on myself. I'm just, you know, that's because I feel like it would be almost dishonest, you know, or disingenuous just because I'm on the other side of the veil so deeply that it's like, you know, it's like, man, like you know, it's like if I make it in music as an artist, I would want it to be more of an organic kind of thing. Like, okay, people like the music, it kept growing, it built. Now, you know what I'm saying, instead of me like forcing it on the people, like, hey, boom, you know what I'm saying, we're everywhere, we're doing this, you know, I'm doing all these things for me personally, right? Because that's not my main objective.
So, dude, this was kind of an idea, which was reacting, because we know that you didn't get to see the entire show, The American Hustle, because, you know, life does what it does at life's. And so you were doing your thing. And I don't think anybody expects you to go back and watch the entire series.
Yeah,
However,
I just don't like watching myself.
which we don't understand why, but whatever. So the question is, would you be willing to do?
I'm not watching that whole show, bro.
No.
We're not doing a reaction on the whole show.
Definitely not. That's exactly what I just got done saying. Nobody expects you to do it. We're not going to ask that. But top 10 moments, because the Army does have a lot of very cool little moments that they dig, right? Mm-hmm. So what we would like to do is have them kind of talk about those moments in the comments and ask, basically, you know, for us to put the 10 moments together, number one. And number two, go over those moments with you and then your thoughts about what was happening at that time or something. So it just kind of brings you, you know, from here to there. And it kind of just closes the gaps because you didn't watch it. I'll tell you that there's the continuity of each thing that goes by. There are the Army has picked out that there's a lot of gaps, the things that they didn't understand, number one, mm-hmm. or maybe they wanted a little more clarity on. And so that's what we mean by those top 10 moments that kind of that were cool moments, but needed a bit more clarity. And
so like, let me get this right. So like so you're saying the Army is gonna like basically pick moments, or you're gonna ask them to send in different moments or whatever that they want me to check out and give my personal insight, you know.
Right. I'll put the moments together. Me and Irene will put them together, and then we'll pick out the top 10, and you can just
comment. All right, that don't sound too bad. Mike can do that for my second show. We're gonna do it on my channel. We're doing it. All right, let's do it. Yeah, you know, I got a channel now. I'm doing things on YouTube, which is wild, bro. This is so wild to me that I'm actually YouTubing right now.
We need to, right, and we need to build that community. So those of you, obviously, please subscribe and put that notification bell on. We're definitely going to help you with your content. You know what I mean? Until you don't need us anymore, but we're definitely, so any of these ideas, we definitely want to put them on your channel too. And vice versa. The truth is that I would really like to help, and other channels that I've spoke to, that other reaction channels, we all kind of want to start building a community of reactors that all help each other and mention each other's, you know, content, even reviewing some of other people's content too. The whole idea is to build a community and to really build, you know, the how can I say, just the forward progression community that is K-pop, music business, and of course BTS and everything else. So yeah.
Word. All things creative.
So Army, hi everybody.
Go ahead.
Use the comments down below to tell us what moments you would like Nate to react.
Yep. let us know, and I'll cut them together, and we'll make that for the second show.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's been a while, you know what I'm saying? Like this.
Thanks for putting the game on, man. Boy, you really broke that down.
Hey,
taught me some
I
stuff
know.
I didn't know.
You asked the right question, you might get the right answer. You know,
That's
you never
true.
know
That's true.
how it goes, man. But yeah,
well, thank
bro.
you for having me, man. I really appreciate being here, and this is gonna be cool watching your channel grow, man. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you brought me out on your channel, you know, and I wasn't doing much, so this is, you know, it's only feels right that you're like my first guest on my show.
I appreciate it.
And yeah, man, this is cool. You know, it's not as daunting of a task as I you know had imagined in my mind. So yeah, man, looking forward to it. Looking forward to doing, you know, a couple more things. We'll do the reaction video to the AHL stuff. Cool. But you know, I'm just looking to bring some cool, fresh insight across the board, you know, all things creative, you know, all things artful, all things business, you know, a lot of things that I've learned, you know, different things like that. So definitely stay tuned. And like I said in the beginning of this video, if you want to support me and this channel, all you gotta do is like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. All right.
Yeah.
It's your boy Nate Walka signing out. Frankie Biggz, thanks for coming on. And Irene, you know, our voice in the sky, we always appreciate you for all the things that you do to make this possible.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you next time, man. Peace.
All right, guys. Ciao for now. Peace, Army.